Hey yo, it's Brian here. Today, talking about the San Francisco 49ers. In this one, look at the schedule early for 2021. I'm pretty sure you guys know who we're facing already. We're facing the NFC North, the AFC South, obviously our division, and I think the Falcons and the Eagles. 17 game, assuming that the owners do pass it for 2021, we'll be playing an AFC team if that does happen. Hope you guys are having a great week. Nothing too crazy for me. I know you guys have been wondering why hasn't this guy posted videos for a long time, for the past month now, but to be honest with you, it's been really quiet. I want to save all the videos for later on and probably the next couple of weeks when the new league year starts, when free agency starts, and hopefully the 49ers can make some big splashes or get some big contract extensions like maybe Trent Williams or Jason Verrett, anything like that. But just for right now, I don't want to talk about Deshaun Watson and Jimmy Garoppolo all day because that's pretty much the biggest rumored things going on around the 49ers and company. Looking at the draft after free agency, also the schedule release is going to be coming out officially around April, I would say. And then also you have training camp OTAs, assuming that everything's back to normal. So really, for right now, I'm not going to be posting any crazy videos or anything like that. I'm not doing all the prediction stuff until pretty much at the new league year, which starts on March 17th. If you're wondering why I don't have a lot of videos, just don't want to talk about the same thing because I pretty much talked about all the interesting stuff that had to be talked about. Let's get this video started, but before I do, as always, please like and subscribe. That's going to help me out a lot. Click that bell notification to get notified of future videos. Share the channel, share this content with fellow Niner faithfuls. Hope you guys are enjoying this lighting right here. It's a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more brightness, I would say, for you guys. And yeah, got to give a shout out to my brother for giving me this light for a little bit. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. Let's get this started. 49ers, look at the schedule for 2021 very early on. Games that I'm excited to look forward to, games that I think are going to be very important for playoff implications, mostly in the NFC, but Green Bay Packers, I think that's the biggest game that I'm looking forward to outside of the division. I really want to beat this team because I think last year in 2020 we got robbed, we got cheated because we had a couple of illnesses. I think like 3 or 4 guys were out, and yet we had to play that game on Thursday Night Football, and I'm seeing other teams like the Baltimore Ravens getting concessions. The Broncos, they got screwed definitely, but I guess those teams weren't playoff contenders anymore, so they're like, just let them play, and they're going to be losing by a lot, and boy, did both teams lose a lot. The Packers but the Packers just destroyed the 49ers. The Broncos got destroyed by the Saints that week when they had to start Kendall Hinton. Felt really bad for him for having to start a game, which, I mean, he never played quarterback before college and what have you, and they thrust him in that situation, and he only completed 1 pass, to be honest with you. That was not the best performance of a quarterback's life. But anyways, going back on topic, the Packers, I think we can beat this team definitely. And 2020, I really believe with a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo and a healthy defense, everybody was available, we would have destroyed the Packers, to be honest with you. And you look at the NFC Championship game this year, they lost another one to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady, and Rodgers got Brady essentially, so it was not a good performance for them. And yeah, they're one of those teams that can perform really great in the regular season, but in the playoffs they floundered just a little bit. I think Rodgers is like 1-3, 1-4 NFC championships. Very disappointing on his part because he's just a great quarterback, one of the greats in this generation, but just can't get over the hump. Minus that big Super Bowl win in 2010 very early on, but ever since then, like the Breeze, they haven't won any big championship games ever since. Looking at it, Packers game, I'm excited to look forward to that, and this could be really the determining factor on who becomes the top seed in the NFC. Other games looking forward to outside of the division, I'd say the Minnesota Vikings. I think that's a very compelling matchup just because of the fact Kirk Cousins is probably going to be there, and a lot of people always put rumors that Cousins is coming to the 49ers, which I think that's just bonkers right there. I mean, if Kyle Shanahan ever thought about bringing Cousins to this organization, Shanahan would probably be fired in the next few years, to be honest with you, because Cousins is not going to get you anywhere. And you look at his body of work in Minnesota, he hasn't really gotten them anywhere. And yes, they do have some breaks for him. I mean, everybody's been beat up. The offensive line has been terrible, just like in Jimmy G's case, so not all of it his fault. Defensively, they've aging. A lot of players left already from last year, and he didn't really perform because the defense wasn't really up to par, which a usual Vikings defense is. But for the most part, Cousins, I think he deserves most of the blame, and plus he eats up a lot of the salary cap money anyway. So if you're really looking for supporting cast, you gotta take a pay cut. You gotta be like the Tom Brady guy and take one for the team a little bit. So that's how it is. But Vikings, I'm excited to play them and beat them again. And plus, Viking fans, they were pretty ignorant, I would say, in the divisional matchup when we played them last year, and we just beat the bonkers out of them. Jimmy G didn't really do much with the running game with Tevin Coleman. You couldn't stop him at all, and the Vikings had no answers to that. And the defense just dominated Cousins and company, and we'll love to see that performance again. So Viking fans, you guys are definitely welcome back to come to my videos when we do have a prediction for 2021. So that's another game I'm excited for. Some other games to look forward to. AFC South, I'm going to be looking forward to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, facing Urban Meyer. first time as an NFL head coach, which, I don't really follow too much of college, but, as you all know, he was very successful in Ohio State, Florida, Utah, and now he's going to the big boys, the big men of football, the NFL. Very different atmosphere, and you got to be a really tough guy in order to make it into the NFL, even as a coach. First time ever. I mean, we're pretty much going to discredit pretty much everything you did in college. Look at what you're going to do in the pros. Are you going to be a success like a Jimmy Johnson or Pete Carroll in Seattle, or are you going to be a flop like Steve Spurrier or some other coaches that really flopped outside of college to the NFL? And we'll see what happens then, but he's going to get Trevor Lawrence essentially with the #1 overall pick. I mean, that's pretty much a consensus pick, once in the generational talent, and would love to see a matchup between the 49ers and Trevor Lawrence / Urban Meyer. And we'll see if they can emerge as a playoff team in their first year, which is probably not going to happen, but you never know. With these teams, with the NFL the way it is, I think it's a lot easier to go worst to first through the salary cap, but for the most part, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be struggling, and I don't know if it's going to be working out, to be honest with you, but we'll see then. Maybe Meyer can get something with the Jaguars and turn the team around, but I really don't see it, to be honest with you, but we'll see if they can beat us definitely in 2021. Another game I'm excited for the 2021 campaign is the Indianapolis Colts, man. This is one I'm going to be marking with the big X, big ticker on the games that I'm excited for 2021. Love to see whoever the quarterback will be for the Colts, which is going to be Carson Wentz. As you all know, got traded from the Eagles to the Colts, but I'd love to play Carson Wentz again because I don't know how he beat us last year in 2020 with the Eagles and 49ers on Sunday Night Football. Well, pretty much Nick Mullins was the reason why we lost the game. Love my rematch there. Kyle Shanahan versus Frank Wright. Two great offensive-minded coaches. Love to see that matchup. Defensively for the 49ers and Colts right now, they're awesome. The Colts, very underrated defense. They have a very stud middle linebacker in Darius Leonard. Fred Warner is still my guy. Still top middle linebacker in the NFL, but can't go wrong with Darius Leonard as well. Also, DeForest Buckner, our man, is there in Indy. So really, the Colts, they're very loaded right now. They can make a Super Bowl run, to be honest with you. They just have some better quarterback play. I mean, Rivers last year was pretty good, but at the same time, couldn't get him over the hump against the Bills in the first round. But if Carson Wentz can be that Carson Wentz that he was MVP year with Frank Wright, then yeah, they could probably win the Super Bowl. I mean, that's not really far-fetched to say because the Colts are that good, in my opinion. They're so talented. They're so loaded on pretty much every position, and offensive line is one of the best in the NFL, way better than us in San Francisco. You can't go wrong with the Colts, and if people pick them as a Super Bowl pick, that's not crazy at all. But that game I'm really excited for to seeing in the AFC matchup out of all of them. The Texans, I mean, the Texans are probably going to be trash, to be honest with you, because, Deshaun Watson saga, David Culley as a head coach, that's pretty, bonkers right there, in my opinion. The Texans, they pretty much know what they're doing. They just don't care, to be honest with you, about winning. I think they know their intentions, but it is what it is. And plus, it's a poisonous organization with a lot of stuff going on outside of football. And, I'm pretty sure you guys know everything with the McNair family and how they feel about certain people. So that's pretty much what I have to say. But the Texans, they're a pretty trash organization, and I don't blame Watson for getting out of Houston at all. And love to see him in San Francisco, but I think he's going to end up staying in Houston, to be honest with you. And as you all know, the NFC West, I can make a video of its own just talking about the NFC West with the Seattle Seahawks, the Arizona Cardinals, and the Los Angeles Rams. I think I said maybe earlier in the video, you got Russell Wilson maybe wanting out in Seattle. You got Kyler Murray and also J.J. Watt now. Is that going to be a good duo? I don't know. We'll see then. But Matthew Stafford in L.A., they better win the Super Bowl in the next year or two. I talked about this when they made that trade with Jared Goff and Detroit and company. So, there's a lot of intrigue in the NFC West, and I'll probably have a video out separately this week talking about the NFC West and how I'm feeling about each team in our division. So, yep, that's pretty much it, you guys. If I had to put a top 3 list on the games that I'm excited for outside the NFC West, I got to probably put Vikings, Packers, and Colts. I know I'm going to put Colts #1 because we rarely play the Colts at all, and right now they're really hot with Frank Reich and company, and love to see that great matchup, and hopefully we could beat DeForest Buckner and company. That's pretty much it, you guys. Please let me know what you guys think about the 49ers schedule right now. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Record predictions, if you want to predict records, I like what you have to say in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. That's going to help me out a lot. I'll be catching you guys up probably tomorrow on the Thursday. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Go Niners all day. Got to try on working a little bit more videos, but at the same time, it is boring season right now during the off season.